was great. It's been quite a challenge and an amazing experience. Something I'd always wanted to do, but I never really quite, well, I guess I wasn't ready for it until right now. I studied directing and acting at school, and have directed some plays, but never a film, which is much more multifaceted. Well, I was directing it and producing it at the same time, and that made it very challenging because I still was wearing my producer hat when I was directing. And I should have let things go a little bit, and I did have a lot of help, but I was just like, I can do it, and I did, and it all worked out just great, but I think I would have been a little bit more relaxed. So that was one of the challenges. I was doing everything. But it all turned out great, and I learned so much from the experience and so much from having my hand in every single pot that was there. Well, Bryant Lamel, my cinematographer, taught me a lot just about motifs and story, and I've not gone to film school. So that, he always kept directing me when I would get caught up in something else. He would bring me back to the story, and we'd talk about the heart of the story and what really is going to drive that story forward. Because yes, it is about color palette, it is about interesting shots, it is about all of that, but really at the heart of it, it's about story. And he always brought me back to that. And he still, now that I'm ready to go and cut the film with my editor, he's still, whenever we talk, he's like, think about the story. Think about the story. What is the core of this story? So that's been, I feel like I've been through film school with him. He's a wonderful mentor. Well, I lost my grandmother. And that was 2 years ago, and she was very dear to me. I got on the plane, and I took out my journal because I write all the time, and I didn't have time amidst all the funeral preparations and everything to actually write and process my feelings. I took out my journal, opened up to a clean page, and this story flowed out, not of death, not of grief, but of life and play and love and romance between this older couple. That is somewhat my grandparents, but not exactly. More the way my grandfather would look at my grandmother. And when I was on set, I actually found a postcard that was behind a picture that I used on the set that's featured, and it's of them from, I think, 1941. And they're kissing on a rock, and he's embracing her, and she's kind of like clutching him, and he's just wholeheartedly embracing her. And there was this postcard, and they always wrote me, she would always write the top half, he would always write the bottom half. And hers was all about, oh, we went to New York, I got to wear my pearls, it was so fun, we saw Kiss Me Kate, there was a standing ovation. And then his paragraph was, can you believe that we have been in love and friends for 64 years? I've been with the same beautiful woman, and we have romance every day. I hope your life is as lucky as mine. And that was always his sentiment. So that's what's ringing true in the story, and that's what came across. Is this man that just loves his wife so much and wants to play with her and wants to romance her, and she's about the pearls. But she eventually, they do find the romance together. And so it's really my grandpa's story and what I've listened to my whole life about how there's romance after 90. So that's where the inspiration came from. And then I came home and I was very excited about it. And their song is featured in it, which is a Gershwin song, Our Love Is Here to Stay. It's from An American in Paris, is when it debuted back in 1952, I believe. And so I called the Gershwin people and did not think they would give me the rights. But they did, for free, because they were so touched by the story. So I just then started running with it and finally shot it. So that was the story behind it. It was from loss came this wonderful story of love.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
The technicalities, for me, the challenge was taking such a personal story and figuring out how to branch it out, how to make it universal, how to not every time I looked at that script see my grandparents, see their kitchen, see their living room, see what was familiar to me and accept what the universe was giving me, what the world was giving me, that I could use for my story, including the actors, including the locations. They weren't what was in my mind. So that to me was very challenging. The actual aspects, the technical aspects of production did not really get in the way of it. The location scouting, that was challenging, to find a kitchen. And you saw the kitchen.
It's beautiful.
It was a beautiful kitchen. My friend Jeannie, God bless her, she let me shoot in her house, and we were there until the wee hours of the morning. And she's just so happy that we shot there and that her little girls got to see a movie made, and just she takes it as an enriching experience where you don't always find that when you go in and shoot in someone's house. They don't know what's coming, and then they see it and they're like, whoa, what did I get myself into?
Right?
So yeah, it was great. But the technical aspect for me to get adjusted to was just to let go and accept what I had that was going to tell this story and make it universal.
Do you feel the itch to do something
I
else?
do. It's like addictive. It's like a drug. It's crazy.
Yeah. So this is
I
not
do.
the last time, huh?
It's not. I've got some features kind of brewing in my brain. I've already got some shorts that I've written that are on my computer that I just never really did anything with. They just kind of stayed there. I guess this was the catalyst. This was the one that needed to be the first because it needed to be the story I had to tell. The other ones, now I look at them and I think my challenge next time is, okay, think about the locations I have, think about all the people I know already, and how can I make this for more efficiently, for less money, which this project wasn't that. It needed to be what it was. But now I will think more of those aspects when I craft a script, when I craft a story, so that it's easier to get another one out. It's not as challenging.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
What's your
you.
name again?
Katrina Gourley.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.